Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working step by step through the theory grades. And so we're looking at the ABRSM 2017 practice paper. We're going to complete paper S, the specimen paper that was never actually sat as an exam of that year, but it's just provided for you by ABRSM as extra revision in exam format at the end of this booklet. So if you turn with me to page 22, we're going to have a look, starting with question 5. So I'm hoping that you've had a little go of this yourself. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. As long as you're writing in pencil, you can always just rub out and have another go. You'll learn more thoroughly that way. So we'll have a look at this together now. If you haven't had a go and you're not sure how to go about it, maybe just watch the first part of this question and then press pause and then continue and try and complete the question on your own before re-accessing into the video to work through with me. So let's have a look at this together. We need to rewrite this melody with the notes correctly grouped, correctly beamed. So we need to beam these notes appropriate to this time signature. At the moment they're not, and it makes it so terribly difficult to perform because you can't see where each new beat falls. We're in 9/8, which is 9 quaver beats, 9/8 notes per bar, but it's also triple time. It's got 3 groups of dotted crotchet beats, and that's what we need to show. We need to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so before we start sketching out, let's just do the thinking first of all. Don't forget rests as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3 quaver beats. That's our first dotted crotchet, dotted quarter note group. 1, 2, 3, there's our second beat. 1, 2, 3, that's our third beat. So you can see already how out that is, and when we rewrite it you'll see how much easier it would be to play. So here's 1, 2, 3 quaver beats, 1, 2, 3 quaver beats, 1, 2, 3 at the end. There's our third beat. Carrying on, 1 1/2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'll circle that. We're not going to need to do anything with that because there's no beaming involved, but I'll circle it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so we can now see quite easily how we're going to need to beam these. So 1, 2, 3 will need to be beamed together, 1, 2, 3 will need to be beamed together, and so on. So then I'm going to I think what I'll do, just so I can take things a step at a time, I'm just going to get the blobs in place. I'm just going to copy the note heads, but I'm going to worry about the stems and so on later. I'm keeping everything aligned with what they've given me so that I don't lose track where I am. And then I'm not going to run out of space as well. And it's so easy to get lost, so I'm going to keep everything aligned. And that way as well, the notes have got their appropriate spacing, because notice that semiquavers or 16th notes come a little closer together than just quavers to show that visually they go quicker as well. So I'll just copy and follow their spacing for a number of reasons. Nothing worse than everything either squished up or running out of space at the end of a bar. Got enough things to worry about without worrying about that. So we'll worry about ties and things when we get to it. So 1 quaver beat there, 2, 3 completes that unit. So although that looks odd, it's because those 2 quaver beats belong to this beat here, and that's why we wouldn't beam over, because this is now the next beat. by all means use a ruler. And so this quaver will have to be on its own because it belongs to this group here. So you can see there's beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and suddenly that's a whole lot easier to play. So now we're going to be beaming from this note here to this B here. I'll use a ruler. So I'll leave it at that for the moment. Let's just get the stems in place. However, from here onwards, we're going to need an extra beam to show that they are semiquavers or 16th notes. And now we can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, the 3 quaver beats of that whole dotted crotchet unit. Same principle again. Now we're going to have to decide whether the stem goes up or down. Now that needs the stem to go up, that needs the stem to go up, that needs the stem to go up. This one needs the stem to go down, and this one can go either way. So really that one is outvoted by all of these others. So the stems will go up. One, yeah, that's where I'm going to. So let's get the stems in place. Oops. And then we can look at the extra beam. So from this C, these last notes here, they all need a second beam. All the stems can go up here. There we go, and that's so much easier to read for performance now. So here, all of these are going to be beamed together. So I've got the dot, so we just need an extra beam there. Now nothing needs doing here, that's a quaver, that's a crotchet, that forms its own little group, so nothing to do there. And then here we can see they belong together. Now here, this stem needs to come down, this stem needs to go up, this one is in the middle, that can go either way, so really it's a 50-50 split, it's up to you to choose. I think I'm going to have them coming down just so it's in keeping with everything else that's going on, but it's not absolutely necessary. And then we just need the tie, and then tidy that bit up. There we go, and that's that question completed. So it's not actually as scary as it first seems if you just do your thinking beforehand. If you can always rub out your scribbles when you've done, but I don't think you absolutely have to, so long as that your answer is perfectly clear and your scribbles don't sort of stretch over into that section. Let's look at the next question. So we need to rewrite these bass clef notes. We need to keep them at the same pitch, but we're swapping to alto clef. So as ever, our key, or perhaps that's the wrong term, our point of anchor, the most important thing to watch for is middle C, and we can see that we're, we can observe that we're an octave below that middle C. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. So we're the C below middle C. So here is C. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 8 gives us the octave below middle C there. So here we're 1, 3, 5 above middle C. That's middle C. So C, E, G flat, so C, E, G flat, there we go. And now we're moving from alto clef to treble clef. Same principle, we need to keep the same pitch, so if you relate to middle C, you're not going to be in the wrong octave. Because not just any old pitch will count, we need to be at the exact same octave. So C, B, A, G, F, 1, 3, 5 below middle C. So here is middle C, 1, 3, 5 below middle C. And you can see why we have to change clef at times, because if we kept going down, we're going to be in far too many ledger lines to be sensible. So let's count down the octave. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. Takes us to the E above middle C, but we need to be an octave higher than that. So here's the E above middle C, but we need to be an octave higher than that. Alternatively, you can just count from middle C, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. You could just count your steps from middle C if that helps. So if this is middle C, the next door note is D, so it's D sharp next door to middle C. So here's the D next to middle C, and we'll just sharpen it. There we go. So let's move on to the next video. Sorry, not the next video, the next question. And so we're on to the harmony question with the triads. So we're in the key of F minor. We're going to have to choose which one of these chords are represented in this harmony here. So we might as well just map out what we need first of all. So chords 1, 4 and 5 are what we're going to be looking for. We're in F minor. They've helpfully told us that. We can see there's our key signature and our raised 7th. So chord 1 is based on F. And if you find it difficult, 1, 2, 3, 4 is B. Of course it's B flat, but your key signature will take care of that. And C is chord 5. So 1st, 3rd, 5th, F, A, C, B, D, F, C, E, G. Your key signature will take care of everything apart from the fact that in a minor key, usually the 7th is raised, and so 7th note up from F is E, and so that will be a natural in chord 5. So let's see what chords we've got then. We've got a B, F, B, D, and so that's chord 4. You could also write subdominant alternatively, but just 4 will suffice. So let's look at this one. We've got F, and then the 2 stems mean that that's F for the bass and the tenor line. So we've got F, F, C, A for the 4 parts, but we've got F, C, A, so we can see that's a chord 1, or you could write tonic. And then here, before I've even read the notes, I can tell this is going to be chord 5 because it's got the E, the raised 7th in it. So C, G, C, E confirms that yes, that's chord 5 or the dominant. And so we'll move on to the last part of this question, and in fact the last part of the paper. So now we're asked to write the triads that they've named, shown by the key signatures. We're going to have a choice whether we write the major or the minor key chords. So here we have a key signature of B, E, A, D, G flat. That's D flat major. Alternatively, it could be the related minor key, but we don't need that. The tonic is of course based on chord 1, the D flat. So if we just find a D, we're going to be writing D, F, A. Your key signature will take care of all the flats. So if that's middle C, there's D. 1st, 3rd, 5th, just go space, 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 and you'll know that that's D, E, F, G, A. So once you've found your bottom note, really, you don't even have to think about those. So we need to write in the minor key now. So this would be D major, or alternatively D major is related to B minor. So B minor, of course, chord 1 begins on B. Chord 5 is what we're after. So if you're not sure, just count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes you to F. And we're going to have to write the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th. However, there's something to remember here because we're in the dominant chord of the minor key. We'll get to that in a moment though. So let's just get these blobs in place. We need F, A, C in the treble clef. Now, if you remember in a minor key, you raise the 7th. If B is the 8th, then A is the 7th, and it's always the middle note, like we noticed here in the previous examples, in the previous question. So we need to raise the 7th, so the A must be sharpened, and it always comes in the middle of that dominant chord. And so our final one, we're in the minor key, so that could be B flat major or it's G minor. Chord 1, of course, is based on G, the tonic. So chord 4, if we count up from G, 1, 2, 3, 4, takes us to C. And so we'll build our chord from note C. So here, there's a C. And then first, third, fifth tells us that we've got our C, E, G. We don't really need to think about that because we can just work it out by counting up the triad. And so that's the end of that question, that's the end of that paper, that's the end of that set of papers for the year 2017. I do hope that it's been of help to you. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab. That'd be really encouraging to me. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. And please do go to sharonbale.com and make use of all of the information and resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.